David Beckham, one of the most illustrious careers in modern-day football. From humble beginnings in Leytonstone to playing for Goliaths such as Manchester United, Real Madrid, AC Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain, Beckham's career has been nothing short of spectacular. From glamorous red carpets to cold, wet nights in Sheffield, Beckham proved he could do it all, paving the way for the first wave of modern-day commercial footballers: Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, and Neymar Jr.
Legendary status without a doubt. I think he's put a long shift in as an England player, some fantastic performances, some fantastic goals, memories, and I've learnt a lot off David, and it's been a pleasure.
Bex is a fantastic footballer. Everyone knows that his capabilities as a player. As I said, his quality is undoubted, and he's a great member of the squad.
I think it's easy for people to shoot people down when they're at the very top, and for many years Bex has been at the top and still is. He's always been one of the best players in the world.
David Beckham, a footballing icon, Manchester United legend. And at one point, the most hated man in England. After the historic 1966 World Cup, which saw England's first and only win, England failed to qualify in 1974, losing to Poland in the qualifying stages. This World Cup woe was echoed in 1978 when England failed to qualify for back-to-back World Cups. A hard pill to swallow made even harder when tournament host and longtime rivals Argentina took the tournament home. Determined to restore England's place as a top-flight footballing nation, Man United and England legend Sir Bobby Charlton set up the Sir Bobby Charlton Soccer School. A Manchester-based foundation with the aim to provide young talent with top-quality coaching who otherwise may not have had the opportunity. Beckham found early success when in December of 1986, he won the soccer school's national skills competition at the age of 11.
Why are you special in the sports world?
Well, I won the Bobby Charlton Soccer School finals, skills finals.
Brilliant. So where are you off to?
Barcelona for 2 weeks.
Gosh, is that Maradona? No, it's the wrong one, isn't it? Isn't that Argentina? Who's the star in Barcelona?
Mark Hughes and Gary Lineker.
Beckham's talents didn't go unnoticed, and by the time he was 16, he was signed by top-flight side Manchester United.
At the moment, wherever you go in the world, people talk about Manchester United football team. The last few days have just established it more and more as a great team.
This is where football generates. Best teams in the world come from the Northwest. Simple as that. If you know football and you want football, you come up here. You live and breathe it. You've no choice.
They play a style of football for many years that everyone's enjoyed. Even if you're not a United fan, you're still in awe of how they played. Played against them, they were winning everything, and you saw a dynamic football side that played great football. They got after teams, they outworked every team they played against.
It's been a marvellous occasion, and you can never forget these nights, ever.
Beckham's success as a Man United youth player was undoubted, winning the 1992 Youth FA Cup and 1994 Reserves Leagues.
Because Beckham, without question, was the fittest player at United as a kid. Up and down the pitch, all the bleep tests in terms of pre-season work, he was streets ahead of everyone. You had to stop him.
In 1996, Beckham began to break into the first team as many key players came to the end of their careers. Paul Ince, Mark Hughes, and Andrei Kanchelskis most notably.
He always was a marvellous boy, and when he joined us at 12 years of age, he had this fantastic ambition to be a footballer, which I loved. And it was part of that great squad we got through, the group we got through with Giggs and Scholes and the Nevilles and Nicky Butt, Ben Thornley. It was a wonderful period for Manchester United.
Look back on the great times that we had together as 6 young lads that started out, all we wanted to do was play football for Man United, and we fulfilled that dream.
He's the one who taught us how to play football the Manchester United way, taught us how to handle ourselves on and off the pitch, along with others, you know, Brian Kidd as well, these kind of people, but Eric was special.
No, it was. I think we were quite lucky in all coming through together at a time when it was a young person's type of boom, really, and that fresh new Tony Blair era where they were giving youth a chance and they wanted to invest in youth, and it was the end of coming out of a recession, and we was part. You know, we was part of that new regime that was coming through, and we were quite lucky.
There was also Oasis, there was also Stone Roses, Hacienda, you know, all of these things, great things going on that's part of history in Manchester, and we lived through it, so it was so special.
We came into a Man United team that was already successful and already had great players and a great manager, and we were just playing a small part in it.
Playing alongside club legends such as Eric Cantona, Andy Cole, and Peter Schmeichel, it wasn't long before Beckham made an impact. With a deep history in English football, United gave Beckham the perfect environment to improve his skills. Under the guidance of Sir Alex Ferguson, Beckham had solidified his place as a first-team player. By the 96-97 season, Beckham had won the Premier League with Man United and the PFA Young Player of the Year award. And it wasn't long before he received his England call-up. 30th of June, 1998, England were to face Argentina in the FIFA World Cup last 16.
Whoever wins this has got every chance of winning the final, aren't they? Going all the way.
Well, this is the most important game since 1990 World Cup or the German semi-final in Euro 96. It's a massive game.
You can feel the atmosphere in the town. It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, we've got to get one back from when Maradona scored on ball, haven't we?
The hand of God is going to
The hand of God.
God is good. I'd rather forget about it.
A game steeped in controversy after England 1986 quarter-final defeat to Diego Maradona's infamous handball. The hand of God.
I thought it was just a joke at a time, you know. I didn't think, you know, and when he ran off to the left, I just couldn't believe it, you know. And he gave the goal, and we all know what happened after that, and he should have been off the field.
So what do you want to see today?
I want to see England win without cheating.
Will you encourage your players to follow Maradona's example and cheat if necessary to beat England?
In football, he says copying isn't authentic. Every player has to express himself in the best way. He praised England's young players, Owen and Beckham, likely to start tomorrow in an unchanged lineup.
Revenge, I'm sure, is one word that's going to be used an awful lot. If you want to call it that, you can, but the most important thing is that we get the right result, and if after the game we can call it revenge, then great.
Another flash of brilliance from David Beckham might help England get the right result, but the squad isn't underestimating their task.
We have a lot of good players, so I think that we can win easily.
2-1 England, Shearer, golden goal.
Of course, us. 2-0. 2-0. I'm very sorry for the English people, but
you're going to win.
We are the best. Sorry, man. You have the money, we have the quality and the skills, the ability.
It's bigger than you. It's the same. I want to win. All the people in Argentina want to win because football is the best.
1-0 to England. Great turn. We're getting stronger and stronger.
We're going to win here, and then we're going to win in Marseille, and then we'll end up winning the World Cup.
England quickly experienced early heartbreak when Argentina scored a penalty in the 6th minute. However, it wasn't long before England returned with a penalty of their own. with England taking the lead in the 16th minute. Argentina were able to equalize on the stroke of the half. 2-2 at halftime. England looked the stronger team, but then disaster struck.
White ball was required, and neither was that challenge on Beckham. And Beckham, now whether Beckham accidentally smacked into the defender, Simeone, the midfielder, I don't know. For Beckham, it's a red card for David Beckham. Oh, no.
It definitely cost England the match. I had a great view of the incident. He lashed out at the guy. The guy was going to get booked anyway. There's no need for it whatsoever.
But like, I think we're better than the RGs. But like, what can you say? Like, just penalties again, isn't it? Penalty shootout again. I can't believe it.
Beckham was out of order, basically. He should have stayed on the field, and if he had, then we'd have got through.
What can I say, mate? Guide. Absolutely guide.
To get sent off in a match like that is a disgrace to anybody. I'm sorry for his career.
Whatever, it's dressed. I mean, I just feel really bad at the moment. So.
We're all disappointed, and we'll all talk about it for years to come.
Sending off, cost us dearly. We played with 10 men for half the game, and we deserve to win. Gutted is the word. But the best team did win. Best team did win. Well done.
Good, man. Very good.
England's players left the stadium slowly, some clearly upset, their World Cup dream in shreds. Dreams shattered for their children too, though after 3 weeks they at least had their fathers back. As David Batty and the rest waited for their bus, the Argentine team pulled alongside in theirs. As they passed England's players and families, they jeered and gestured and chanted. And then it was time to go. With pride, said the coach.
Very proud, and I think the nation should be proud as well of that performance and the way that we've had to go.
But the nation were anything but proud. Beckham had his chance at redemption on the 6th of October 2001 when England faced Greece in the 2002 World Cup qualifiers.
Another attempt to go. We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. England trail by 2-1. Beckham could raise the roof here with a goal.
There's something I just want to say. I know as England captain that, I'm obligated and I need to talk to the fans, and that's why I'm here. But I think I'm not talking about Sky Sports, because there's a difference between Sky Sports and the news side. And I think the way the news side have treated me in the last few months has been an absolute disgrace. I've done the same with the News of the World, because I think they've tried to ruin my family. I think that I've done the same with the Mail, because I've been called a bad father, I've been called a bad husband, and my wife's been called a bad mother.
Does it hurt, David, when these allegations that you talk about?
Of course, yeah. As I said, things always hurt that are said about my family, and for people to call my wife a bad mother, is unbelievable, and that's all I want to say on the matter. And
regretfully, you will have heard that my contract with the FA has been terminated by mutual consent.
By 1998, Beckham had won 10 trophies with Man United. However, nothing would prepare him for the 98-99 season.
A day and a half still to go till the big match, but at Manchester Airport, fans have been queuing to leave since 3 o'clock this morning. Police now say that up to 50,000 of the Red Army will be making the journey to support their heroes, with only about 35,000 tickets officially allocated. The rest say they're going simply for the atmosphere. Authorities believe they'll make this the biggest ever exodus of British fans abroad to watch a single football match. And it's through Manchester Airport today and tomorrow that the majority are making their way.
This is the busiest 4 days in the airport's history. We've got 225 additional flights over the next 4 days and about 30,000 additional passengers.
Sold my car to get here. I've chucked everything I have to get here. You know, it's just one of them things. You've just got to be there. You'd miss it if you didn't turn up.
It's history. It's a one-off match, isn't it? So we'll just probably never happen again.
Bound for Barcelona then, hoping their heroes will make that piece of footballing history and claim a unique treble.
Thousands of Manchester United fans have invaded Barcelona, and some are already camped outside the stadium waiting for kick-off. They've come here from all over the world.
Where have you come from to watch this match?
Punjab, India.
All the way from India, why?
That's right. Well, Man United supporters. Lived in England, so this is a unique opportunity, so I've come down to support the lads.
Is it worth coming all the way?
Absolutely, if you're passionate about your team, you follow them wherever they are.
With the clock ticking down to kick-off, the excitement continues to rise here in Barcelona. Wherever you go, there's a sea of fans who seem to have taken over the city ahead of the final. Both Manchester United and Bayern Munich will have 30,000 inside the ground. Thousands more who can't get in say they just want to be here to soak up the atmosphere.
Fantastic. Absolutely superb. Yeah, it's a joy to be here.
I mean, the atmosphere alone is worth coming for. It's superb. And the weather and everything is great.
Soaking up the atmosphere in Barcelona, aren't you?
There's still no official word about the fitness of David Beckham. He finished training with his right leg heavily strapped. He says he'll be fine. It's the only fitness doubt Alex Ferguson has to deal with before he names his side for the biggest match in his career.
With Beckham match fit, United set off to Barcelona with the hopes of doing the unimaginable, dreaming of once again bringing the European Cup back to Old Trafford. However, their dreams were quickly challenged when Bayern Munich's right midfielder Mario Basler scored a low-driven free kick, beating Peter Schmeichel at the far post after 6 minutes.
And at half-time, United 0, Bayern Munich 1.
With 3 minutes of added time and 1 goal down, United needed a miracle. Rising to the challenge, a 24-year-old David Beckham steps up to take 2 corners with his trademark.
The impossible just became reality.
I was flat after the game because I just couldn't believe it. And when I got back to the hotel and saw my family, then I was able to enjoy it then.
1999 marked a turning point in Beckham's career. After winning the Champions League to complete the illustrious treble with Man United, the only time an English club has completed the feat.
92 to 99, if you can pick just one moment.
Winning a treble. It doesn't get any better than that.
Unbelievable. You can't beat it. Never experienced anything like that in our lives.
You can't describe it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Happiest day of my life. Happiest day of my life.
He's right up there alongside my son being born.
Well, I think the big problem for me, and I'm a football man really, he fell in love with Victoria. That changed everything, I think. Well, it was a different type of marriage from what you would normally expect of a player and football player. And because she was quite a famous person, of course, being part of a pop group like that. And so that changed the dynamics of his life, really.
He embraced celebrity.
I think he did, yeah.
Beckham had elevated his play to a world-class level, and when he married Victoria in 1999, it was time to do the same to his image. David Beckham would become Becks. Taking on brand deals and appearances, Beckham, with the help from Victoria, was truly transforming himself from an average footballer to a global superstar.
2 questions about England.
Shall we talk about the haircut first and get it out of the way?
If you want to, go on.
A few years back there was an Ian Botham book, which was the biggest. Then Dickie Bird brought a book out which overtook that. And Alex Ferguson's recent one is sold as many as that, I think. So it's a competition between David Beckham and Alex Ferguson now, I think.
With a transformation in image and popularity came a transformation in wage. When in 2002, Beckham signed a 3-year contract following months of negotiations with the club, mostly concerning extra payments for his image rights. The income from his new contract and his many endorsement deals made him the highest paid player in the world.
Are massive salaries ruining the game?
I think, you know, with Michel Platini's trying hard to get this financial fair play into it, you know, and it's a very difficult area. I don't know how I think that there's always ways around these things, to be honest with you. But I don't know how far it can go. It's in dangerous times, actually, of the game, because of the amount of money that some players are getting paid.
David's, done tremendous well outside of the game, which is obviously, been a big part of his career as well as football. And I think that it was a different era with Bobby Moore. There wasn't obviously the money around.
Do you fear for the future of the game with these massive salaries swirling around?
What happened that somewhere along the line the game will get a rude awakening and it'll level out, you know, it has to. And stability will come along with that. And, you know, you've got to also admire the Premier Division. It's a great league. It's a fantastic league. And the television deal allows it to survive, you know, in terms of being able to pay the salaries they're paying.
But it will get a rude awakening.
It'll get a rude awakening somewhere along the line, yeah.
We do realise that we have something to prove. We will be playing our hearts out tomorrow for our fans, our country and ourselves, and hopefully we'll come away with the right result.
Are you at all concerned that you've lost a bit of sympathy with England's supporters after the events of this week?
Once we step onto that pitch, you know, they'll realise and they'll see in the boys' faces that, you know, everything's behind us and we want England to do well.
You don't think this pampered millionaire image that has been put about has slightly rebounded on you? The who do you think you are headlines, that kind of thing?
No, because I think that them headlines will probably always be there whilst, you know, the wages are what they are. But, you know, to be honest, that's always going to be there, as I said. So, you know, we're prepared to, you know, take the criticism because, you know, we've put ourselves out there and we're well prepared to take that. But once we're on the pitch, people will realise how much football does mean to every one of us.
And after the sort of the World Cup, you know, I had to come away and do well that season, and I felt I did. And I've come on from there, and it's made me a stronger person.
Beckham could raise the roof here with a goal. I don't believe it. David Beckham scores the goal to take England all the way to the World Cup finals. Give that man a knighthood.
Obviously, you know, World Cup, anyone, and you know, we all know that anything can happen once you're there. You know, you've got to have a certain amount of luck. And obviously people are saying that it is too early for this team to go and win a major competition, but I don't feel like it is.
With Beckham's career on the rise, it seemed as though nothing would stop him, both as an elusive right winger and as a media powerhouse. Having qualified for the group stages, spirits were high.
You know, I feel that we can go there, and if we get through the first stages of the competition, then I feel that anything can happen.
With a new manager, Sven-Göran Eriksson, and new captain David Beckham, 2002 looked like the year football would finally come home.
Absolutely fantastic. It's the best day of my life.
But then, disaster struck. Whilst playing for Man United in a Champions League game against Deportivo La Coruña, Beckham broke the second metatarsal bone in his left foot, injuring him for the remainder of the season.
Well, the metatarsal bones are some of the major load-bearing bones within the foot. So if he's broken or fractured one of those, and we see the metatarsal bone here flashing in red on the screen, that means he's going to be unable to take weight through the bone or through the foot, and if he can't do that, he certainly can't play football.
I had a stress fracture in the 5th metatarsal of my left foot. I did it in a game, just running, it just broke down, and it took me 3 months exactly to come back playing.
Very difficult to say at this minute. We're not too sure of the type of fracture he has, but if all goes well and the bone heals up within the 8 weeks, he's still going to be missing a lot of match fitness. So I would imagine he'll probably miss the opening group stages, but if he does come back, I would probably see him initially coming in, playing a substitute role.
What I think about that?
Do you think that can have any effect?
If it has an effect, please do it, all of you.
The whole business of the Sun calling for people to pray for Beckham, I hope is an elaborate joke, because if it isn't, then we are all doomed.
After the session he had today, he felt very well. No complaints, no pain at all, so that's very positive.
Hopefully this week it'll be great to welcome a few of the players back onto the training pitch, and hopefully David's one of them.
David's slim, tall, angular, human being, natural fit boy, natural athlete. Beckham's natural. So when after he gets metatarsal, that David would no problem playing the World Cup.
A determined Beckham worked hard to get back from injury in time for the opening group stage game of the competition.
How's the foot?
It's a lot better. I ran for the first time 2 days ago on Saturday morning, and it was a little bit achy after, but it's not a problem.
How is the X-ray looking? What are the United physios saying about this?
Well, the callus has formed around the bone, so that's the best sign. The surgeons are really happy with it. They've been looking after me, for the last 4 weeks, watching it carefully, and it's really come on a lot. And the United physios have been watching, obviously, and it's really looking quite good.
Metatarsals mended and old injuries forgotten. The air around the team and their supporters is optimistic.
I'm feeling confident now. We've got David Beckham back. That's going to be a very big positive.
With Beckham back from injury, his dreams of revenge against the Argentines were closer than ever. When England drew Argentina in the group stage of the competition.
And H1 for Japan. Argentina. England.
However, not everyone was optimistic about the draw.
With Argentina, well, it's about time things turned in favour for us. So a bit of luck, a bit of hard work, and I think we'll probably make the most of it.
Sweden. We've not beaten them for a long time. Sweden. They're a better team than us.
When we got Nigeria, I did think of all the teams in Africa, to land Nigeria was completely unfair. They're the best team out there, so we've picked the best in South America, the best in Africa, and a reasonably good European team. I mean, had we had France as well, that really would have been a bit tough.
He was off for some training, a fairly gentle and relaxed affair today, with Beckham sporting the latest of the Mohicans. And the news from the camp is all are fit and well.
I'm going to watch it now.
You're already waiting?
Yeah.
And I'm missing the first half, but I'll see the second half when I get in.
England's going to win about 1-0.
It wasn't long before Beckham was given the chance at revenge. On the 7th of June, 2002, England played Argentina yet again, when on the stroke of the half, England received a penalty. And who else to take it other than Beckham?
You can smash them now. Beckham has scored for England. 44 minutes, and he's done it again. David Beckham puts England in front against Argentina in Sapporo.
You must be very pleased.
Very, very pleased. I think I think the whole nation will be pleased tonight. You know, I think as a footballing nation, we've been waiting for this result for a long time. I've been waiting for it for 4 years, but you know, it means a lot to everyone.
I was going to say, how sweet is that for you?
Well, it's a lot better than 4 years ago. I can tell you that now.
Absolutely fantastic. It's the best day of my life.
Best night of my life. Absolutely amazing. I just can't believe it. We're in Japan. It's the most amazing country. The people have been fantastic, and we beat the Argies. Yes!
Having solidified his place as a national team hero, not everyone was too keen on the new mohawk-wearing designer Becks.
Fell in love with Victoria. I think that obviously that was a big changing point in his life. And me being a football man, I like to see them totally committed to the team. And of course, that waned and went down a bit. I always remember one of the managers saying to me, how is he going to get Beckham and Giggs to run up and down that pitch as wide players and produce such quality? I said, because desire and ability. And when David went off that level, I had to judge whether, you know, that it was affecting the performance of the team and also the control of the team.
Following his return from the metatarsal injury, Sir Alex Ferguson opted to go with the second-string right-winger, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ole was one of these rare human beings that watched every game and he took the notes in every training session. And it was obviously, his desire was later on to be a coach, obviously. But it's also more than that. It's about trying to be the best you possibly can be and giving himself the best chance and taking all the notes down in the training sessions and watching when he was a sub. I used to say to the scouts, the substitutes thereafter, referring to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, watch the game. Watch the game, don't be having a glance round the stadium or chatting to each other during the game. Watch the game, and that's what Ole did.
Often said of you, you know, about your temper and the hairdryer treatment. You say in the book, I had terrible mood storms, and I would sometimes go home fearing the consequences. Do you regret those outbursts?
No. No, I think we are.
What about the football boot incident with Beckham? That was a loss of temper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an accident, yeah. But it happened, you know, and I would have forgotten a bit, but and the fact it was David, it was going to end up in the papers, wasn't it? I mean, there was no way out. And of course, it became a bit of an issue at the time.
Though details were sketchy, United manager Alex Ferguson admitted he had kicked the boot, accidentally striking Beckham. At the time, both sides were keen to play it down.
It was an incident which was a freakish. If I tried it 100 times or 1,000,000 times, it could not happen again. If I did it, I carried on playing.
He became a great player, and I think that we made the right decision in terms of, you know, letting him go to Real Madrid because we felt it was time.
You're being sold like a piece of meat. Did that represent your feelings towards United and Sir Alex Ferguson?
I think that I will miss the fans and the players that I've grown up with because I've regarded the players at Manchester United as my family, and you know, I've got a lot of very special friends there, a lot of special people. Everyone's been very kind to me in Manchester and looked after me for 13 years, and obviously I'm sad to leave them, but you know, I'm joining Real Madrid, and that for me is as exciting as it gets, to be honest.
I don't think he should go. I can't understand why they want to get rid of him. The lad's totally devoted to United, he always has been, and it's not going to be easy to replace that with some foreigner.
I came from Greece, and I want Beckham to stay in Manchester.
It would seem on the surface to be a very serious conflict of interest. Obviously, so much money is earned by progress in the Champions League, and maybe Manchester United don't believe they'll play Real Madrid short of the final. But the whole thing is full of oddities. It's almost as if Manchester United have acted like a very desperate seller to court a very reluctant buyer.
It's the worst bit, the worst,
very worst bit of management I've ever seen. He's won everything at United. There's nothing more he can win. And he's gone from one world-class team to another.
May well be a situation, last game of the group, for instance, where were United not to win the game against another rival, that would allow Real Madrid to go through. Now, I'm not suggesting any question of impropriety, but if that happens, certainly questions will be asked. And that's the last thing United need at the moment, is UEFA on their back.
Backhanded, really, isn't it? It's all been done behind everybody's back.
Beckham never wanted to leave Manchester United. I think he was pushed out, so...
You don't get the wrong side of Alex Ferguson. I mean, that's what this episode shows, and it's happened again and again to players. If they annoy Ferguson, they're out the door. He never speaks to them again. They have to leave United.
He might still be an idol, but the old colours are coming down. In the city where this global phenomena is a local hero, they've already started counting the cost.
Everything with David Beckham on it probably is the biggest selling part of Manchester United merchandise that we do is the David Beckham range.
So they'll feel it when he doesn't play for them anymore?
Quite possibly. I should think it'll be quite substantial unless they can get somebody else in with a very big name. I think they'll feel it definitely.
He went to Real Madrid, and that was a great move for him in the sense of two of the biggest brand names in the world.
Why on earth is it? I mean, he's only a footballer. He's a good footballer, but he is only a footballer, and he's become such a celebrity that it takes over everything.
And already everyone wants a piece of him. The hospital today didn't just do his medical, it sponsored it and insisted he pose in front of their logo. Real spent a lot of money buying one of the world's most commercially valuable sportsmen. They're going to want to squeeze every penny they can from the Beckham bandwagon.
Figures released this month put their annual income for last year at £180 million, 32 million more than Manchester United. But they still lag behind the English club when selling in Asia. Putting Beckham on the books could change that.
With Manchester United in the Far East, it's just phenomenal, really. It's very, very, very important. And in certain ways, we're 4, 5, 6, 7 years behind Manchester United in that respect. You know, Manchester United got mega stores, we've got, you know, little shops and things like that.
Real Madrid shirts are here, but most are being held back. The Pirates planning to flood the market within hours of Beckham's new number being announced in Madrid.
We'll have the shirts in the shops the day after we know his new number. We have to meet the demand for the Real Madrid kit. People are already asking, Beckham, 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 what's his new number?
We'll sell more Real Madrid shirts now. Beckham is a superstar forever. All the girls like him.
There's little dispute in Japan over just who is the world's greatest football star.
It wasn't long before Madrid capitalized on their new star's image, organizing a pre-season tour to South Asia. It is estimated Beckham's 2003 18-day pre-season tour to Asia earned Madrid over €10 million. In 2001, before Beckham's arrival, Madrid had a revenue of £93.2 million. By 2005, they doubled that. However, when Beckham signed for Madrid, they were a club in a mess. They were nearly €280 million in debt and had become stagnant in the transfer market. Club president Florentino Perez had the perfect answer. The Galacticos, a group of high-profile players brought into the club in an attempt to create football's biggest spectacle. Playing alongside Ronaldo, Zidane and Luis Figo, Roberto Carlos, Raul and Iker Casillas, Beckham did not require much time to settle in, scoring 5 times in his first 16 matches for the Galacticos. However, despite an impressive start, Beckham's time at Madrid didn't run as smoothly as planned, with a poor end to the 2005-2006 season, which saw Madrid finish second to longtime rivals Barcelona, forcing club president Florentino Perez to resign, and big changes were to come.
Starting to get a thought now that you could win this World Cup, David?
Well, we're not even thinking about that at the moment, to be honest. We'll let other people do that, because I'm sure other people will be getting sort of carried away with that.
Brazil is going to be very difficult, but if we can do then that's it.
If they can get past Brazil, then go the whole way. But obviously that's a bit of an if, but there's a good chance. There's a good chance. So we'll be there in the final.
Absolutely. Bring on Brazil. Next round, bring on.
World Cup's ours, I think. Yeah. It's coming on.
If it is Brazil, it promises to be an epic encounter. England have never beaten them when it matters. But this is the World Cup, when you should never say never.
What we're looking at is there's 3 more games to the World Cup final, and hopefully if we can play like we have done, then you never know.
Are we getting better as a side? Are you pleased with the way we're getting better?
I think we're getting better and better, and you see that when there comes up those difficult games, we are ready.
After a monumental World Cup, England had a lackluster remainder of the tournament, beating Denmark in the last 16 to ultimately be knocked out by eventual winners Brazil. After a catastrophic error from goalkeeper David Seaman saw Ronaldinho score a 40-yard free kick.
Seaman left the stadium still tearful without speaking, but his captain was quick to jump to his defence.
I think if he gets made a scapegoat, I think it's an absolute disgrace, because I think he's been the best goalkeeper in this tournament, and the goal that they did score, I feel that it was a fluke goal, but you know, the Brazilians are great players, and as I said, I hope they go on to win the tournament now. David's a world-class keeper. No one's putting the blame on him or any of the other players. You know, it's just one of them things.
I wouldn't put any blame on David Seaman or any goalkeeper that happened to. I've never seen a corner kick taken like that. It was whipped with more pace and accuracy than I've ever seen.
David is, a fantastic professional. You know, he's been there, for England, over the years, and made fantastic saves for club and country.
What can you say? I think we deserved it. We'll be back. What are we going to do? We'll win the Euros.
They burnt a Brazilian shirt, cheered as if England had won. For others, silent thoughts and soft words of consolation. So as the team kit was being loaded this evening for the flight home, Sven-Göran Eriksson spoke of how he's told his players to think of the future.
So I told them that I think 90–95% of you sitting here today, very sad with the head down, you have a big chance to be in it in 4 years' time.
4 years later, the England squad set off to the 2006 World Cup with high hopes.
This airline's used to flying the flag, but today that job fell to its most famous passenger. Lots of luck, David, but get back to your seats. The other captain wants to get moving. Mr. D. Beckham, Mr. S.G. Eriksson, and 22 of the most talented footballers England has produced for a generation.
However, despite the squad's potential, unfortunately, the spotlight wasn't on them.
And we'll block the question.
But Sven, there are reports coming out of Sweden today suggesting you are going to quit after the game tomorrow. Would you set the record straight, please?
Nick?
No.
Let's get on the game, please. No questions apart from the football match today.
Launching the FA's All Together Now campaign today, the England boss has written the intro to a government-sponsored World Cup guidebook, which tries to address the problem of anti-German sentiment among English fans.
It's important that we behave on the pitch and off the pitch. We want to make good public relation for England as a football team and as a football fan.
On top of the uncertainty around Sven-Göran Eriksson, England fans were once again being singled out for their behaviour abroad.
Well, I know that English people don't expect that we have a good sense of humor in Germany, but I'm sure it's still an issue of sport and of fun, of making party, and they won't take it for serious, I'm sure.
What you're seeing here, you're seeing people who've been drinking all day. It's over 30 degrees here. It's absolutely scorching hot. And these people, both the English and German fans, have been drinking since 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. And you will always have this sort of baiting and taunting and teasing of the opposition fans.
Do you think that references to Germany's Nazi past, to the Second World War, will cause offence now to German fans?
It might be offensive for some of the people, mostly elderly people, I think.
The British police told them not to do it, as did the German police. The FA pleaded with them as well, but by mid-afternoon 10 German bombers had made its debut. Inflatable Spitfires were also on view. The City Hall came under sustained attack from fans punting footballs at the windows. The police did nothing about it, so we went to see what the mayor's office made of it all.
They were aiming footballs at the windows of the City Hall. I mean, it's not very respectful.
My colleague throws a ball back so that they can play down on the ground again.
England's first footballing challenge came in the quarter-finals against a prime Portugal team.
Everything has to be right tomorrow. In another way, it's difficult because Portugal has a fantastic team. We know that, and individual skill, good organized. It's a very good team with pace, good technique. So everything has to be right. You have to keep the ball attacking, you have to defend well. In other way, you don't win quarterfinals in a World Cup.
Convinced this time the curse of the quarter-final would be broken. But it was the curse of the red card that struck first. Fury and despair in equal measure as Rooney trudges off. England's fighting efforts with 10 men, so reminiscent of Argentina 8 years ago. By the end, the crowd were glad to have hung on for penalties, though all but the youngest perhaps should have known better. Hargreaves briefly had them believing that this time it will be different. But for Lampard and then Gerrard to miss, the nightmare was recurring. No matter how many times England fans go through this, it doesn't get any easier.
And I'm sorry for the team. I'm sorry for the squad. I'm sorry for the fans. Really sorry, because I think with all the fans we have out there, they deserve to have a team in the semi-final or in the final.
He'll tell you all about it. He'll tell you all about it, what it means.
I don't know what it is about penalties. I don't know what it is about having players sent off. It just seems to happen every time to us.
England team went on to lose the match on penalties. The next day, Beckham faced the press in an interview that shocked the world.
If you bear with me, because I wrote this late last night, and on November 15th, 2000, Peter Taylor gave me the greatest honour of my career in making me captain of England and fulfilling my childhood dream. Now, almost 6 years later, having been captain for 58 of my 95 caps, I feel the time is right to pass on the armband as we enter in a new era under Steve McClaren. This decision has been the most difficult of my career to date. But after discussing it with my family and the closest to me, I feel the time is right.
I spoke with David last Monday, notified him of my decision and said that I was planning for the future, looking to change things, looking to go in a different direction, and David wasn't included.
Looking for the way perhaps he's feeling right now.
I think, I think any questions on David Beckham is rather unfair on the new captain.
As the English squad changed its structure, so did Madrid. Ramon Calderón became the new real president, keeping none of the club officials who served under the previous president, including head coach López Caro. Having proved himself to the previous manager, Beckham had to do it all again, when in July 2006, Fabio Capello was appointed as new Madrid manager. Much like the 2002-03 season, Beckham failed to regain his place in the squad, as the speedier José Antonio Reyes was normally preferred on the right wing, and fans didn't feel any different.
Definitely he has been a very important player for merchandising, for publicity, for the economy of the club. It's true.
But for
the fans are looking to the pitch, and they're not looking to the merchandising, you know. And he has not been I think a player that make the difference, you know, in the team.
You know, I've joined a club that is a massive club. You know, if I was going to leave Manchester United at any time in my career than to join a massive club like Real Madrid is a dream.
Beckham was now the most globally recognized footballer in the world. Amassing fan bases in Europe, Asia, and Africa.
There's little dispute in Japan over just who is the world's greatest football star.
David Beckham. David Beckham. David Beckham. What about the hair?
My favorite thing in the world is soccer. To play soccer like David Beckham.
However, there was one market still left to crack.
In just a moment. At this time, I'd like to introduce Los Angeles Galaxy midfielder David Beckham.
There's no doubt in my mind, we'll bring Al-Qaeda to justice, peace or no peace in the Middle East.
On this stretch of the US-Mexico border, there is already a physical barrier. Miles of fence, reinforcing miles of wall.
Good afternoon. I'm honoured to be here in a great city, one of my most favourite cities in the world. Not just saying that because I'm here and I have to say that, but I really believe that. I'm honoured to be here as a Galaxy player.
If he'd asked my advice about leaving Real Madrid to go to LA Galaxy, I would have told him exactly what I thought. How can you leave Real Madrid to go to LA Galaxy, you know?
A far cry from the hostile hooligan culture of European football, the MLS has a more family-friendly atmosphere. With Beckham seemingly set by the wayside by European football, he set himself the goal of increasing the popularity of the MLS.
I want to achieve something that is definitely possible within the fact of raising the profile of the MLS and raising the profile of soccer as a sport. You know, I'm not silly enough to sit up here and say that it's going to be bigger than baseball, basketball, American football and ice hockey, you know, because I'm never going to say it is going to be. But the decision to join the Galaxy wasn't hard because I've been to LA, I've met the owners of the Galaxy, I've become friends with the owners of the Galaxy, and I think there's a huge opportunity out there, and as Tim said, I think that with me it's about the football. That's what I'm all about. I'm coming there to make a difference, I'm coming there to play football, and that's the biggest thing for me.
With their new starman, LA Galaxy were able to pull off a new 5-year shirt sponsorship deal worth $20 million, as well as 11,000 new season tickets holders and sold-out luxury suites. However, after 5 seasons and 2 MLS Cup titles, there was still something missing: the coveted FIFA World Cup. With Beck's sights firmly set on another World Cup run, big changes were needed.
You know, playing international football and regular football, you know, at the highest level, I think he's got to be playing at a different level to what he would do in the States to have any chance.
And has Fabio talked to you about the importance of staying for that? Is that something that's discussed?
No, it's not at all. You know, it's just something that when I first was thinking about going on loan, obviously I asked his advice of you know, his experience on where I should go and where I should play, and he said, you know, You know, all I can say to you is play at the highest level. And obviously I hope I'm doing that. I think I'm doing that.
In July 2009, in hopes of keeping his World Cup dream alive, Beckham made a shock move to AC Milan in an effort to get back into top-tier football.
Obviously being at AC Milan now, it gives me more of a chance to be at that higher level, to play at international level, which is always important. But you know, we'll see. I'm enjoying being with the squad at the moment, and hopefully it continues.
Bex is a fantastic footballer. Everyone knows that his capabilities as a player. It's just about him being fit. I think the manager said, if I'm right in seeing what he said in the media, and he looks to be doing that now at Milan. He looks very happy. He looks like he's enjoying his football. There's a zest about him, and speaking to him since he's been here, he seems like he's having the time of his life. So, as I said, his quality is undoubted, and he's a great member of the squad.
Just how much has that move to Milan improved your game, do you think?
I think it's improved my fitness more than anything else, because I said when I first arrived in Dubai with Milan, my body fat was 13.7 and now it's 8.5, I think. So, you know, I think it was more about the fitness side than anything else.
And also I think towards the end he probably did miss the big time football. And that's a decision he made himself. Maybe in years to come he'll look back and say, well, maybe I should have stayed with Real Madrid, whatever.
Your lawyers aren't talking to the MLS, but we understand that Milan are talking to the MLS and the Galaxy. Is that correct?
I would think so by now. They are, yeah, because both clubs know my feeling on staying here in Milan now, and it's just it's out of my hands now. It's down to obviously both teams.
I mean, he's not getting any younger. I mean, there's a lot of competition around these days.
Fabio Capella's told English TV that he thinks David Beckham's probably too old now. If that is the case, how do you think David Beckham will be remembered as an England player?
Oh, legendary status, without a doubt. I think he's put a long shift in as an England player, some fantastic performances, some fantastic goals, memories, and you know, he was a fantastic captain. I've learnt a lot off David, and it's been a pleasure to play alongside him. And if he has played his last game, he's certainly been missed, because both on and off the pitch, he's a great guy.
He's the sort of player who's proved everybody wrong before when people have written him off at club and international level, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know with David.
You know, Fabio Capella's got to look to the World Cup, and it remains to be seen how he sees David's role, whether he sees him as a permanent member of his first team, or whether he sees him as a squad player and is going to use him in a substitute capacity.
Yes. There's been a lot of debate about the future of David Beckham in the England setup. If he plays in February, it will be his 100th cap. He's also said he wants to play on through to the next World Cup. Is he guaranteed to get his 100th cap? And do you see him going forward to play as long as the next World Cup?
Io credo, ho avuto un rapporto contrastato con David.
He had a contrasting relationship with David Beckham at Real Madrid, but in the end he actually demonstrated to be a great man and a great player. He's also the kind of person who Fabio believes when he sets himself something, he will achieve it, and so you never know. But obviously, Mr. Capella will have to make choices. He believes that basically David's behaviour is important. However, there is obviously still over a month until the first game, so there's plenty of time for these important decisions to be made.
One David Beckham! There's only one David Beckham!
Welcome to Paris and the David Beckham tribute.
He's fantastic.
I hope he does get a good reception. I expect it for him. In my opinion, it's all about Beckham. 100th cap, he deserves it.
Beckham soon earned his 100th England cap, presented to him by none other than Sir Bobby Charlton. However, his World Cup future was still uncertain.
When Fabio Capello swept into Soho Square, he made it clear he had little time for sentimentality, saying players would be picked on form and fitness, not star status. If David Beckham steps out on this pitch in the country he once called home, he'll equal a record that'll see him further propelled into the history books, ensuring that although he wants to leave the Galaxy, his star will keep on rising.
If he was to start on Wednesday, it would be his 100th start for England, and obviously his 108th cap, equally, let's can imagine Bobby Moore's record. I mean, what sort of achievement is that, do you think, if he was done this?
just to get to 100 is an unbelievable achievement, but then to equal a man of the stature of Bobby Moore is just phenomenal. And I'm sure Bex in his wildest dreams would never have imagined that as a kid putting on his boots when he was a 7-8-year-old, I'm sure.
The headlines tomorrow may well be about race, but Beckham will be hoping it's his race to glory instead. His rejuvenation at AC Milan has seen him brought back into the England team on merit, and now all the talk is about equalling Bobby Moore's record of 108 caps.
We've talked about Steven Gerrard, we've talked about Wayne Rooney, we haven't mentioned David Beckham yet, so we ought to get onto that.
No, I think you never ask me about the Slovakia, the Ukraine, always Gerrard, Rooney, Redknapp, no Redman, no question, the others.
Do you sense a fitter David Beckham, a David Beckham that can realistically go on to 2010 now?
Yeah, Rooney, Beckham is a very good moment. I watched it on TV the last 3 games that he played with AC Milan. It's a good moment of form. He play always the first 11, and I check him here during the training. It's a very, very good moment for him.
I mean, anybody gets over 100 caps, especially an outfield player, is a fantastic achievement. And at one point, we didn't think David was going to get 100, having been left out by McLaren and then going to the States.
You've lost Lennon and Hargreaves, still no David Beckham. Why?
I feel that we've got other players that can come in and can do the job and look into the future to do that.
He's rejuvenated really, and since Fabio Capello's brought him back into the squad, and obviously you know, it looks as though he's going to get to that landmark.
David, last time was obviously all about equalling Bobby Moore. This time it's about becoming the most capped outfield player ever for England. Can you even fathom what that means?
No, you know, every time I meet up with England, it's a huge honour. Every player feels like that when they meet up with a squad. But you know, to be on the amount of caps in the games that I am at the moment, you know, is a great honour for me, of course. But you know, I think that every time that I personally meet up with a team, you know, it's a bonus, because being on probably 94, 95 caps, I never expected to make 100, and then obviously making 100, people expected me to retire then. So you know, to be on 108 now and hopefully get to 109, you know, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I think he's had a lot of challenges all through his career, and he seems to have come through them all, flying colours. People said he was finished a couple of years ago. He's come back and he's an integral member of the squad still. So Bex is a fantastic footballer. Everyone knows that his capabilities as a player.
I think as a player, and you know, played with Bex and trained with him, and realised how much this means to him. You know, I think it's easy for people to shoot people down when they're at the very top, and for many years Bex has been at the top and still is. You know, he's always been one of the best players in the world. I think it's easy for people to try and kick him and knock him down, but they've not succeeded. And he's one of the best, and that's why he's up there and still in the England squad.
You know, I want to have a chance of being involved in 2010, and I believe obviously my best chance of doing that would be by staying here. But you know, like I said, it's out of my hands now. It's just I hope it can be sorted, but we'll see.
The woes of Rustenburg have been forgotten in Cape Town. This is now considered the real start of England's World Cup campaign. The turnout has even impressed FIFA, which is rapidly revising its downbeat estimate of how many foreign fans would come.
It seems that we are on the way to have 500,000 international visitors coming to South Africa.
So more of a success than you'd hope for?
I think more than anyone has expected from this World Cup, even us.
But England's definitely winning the war for territory. Cape Town is decked out in red and white.
You've got to get there early, like with flag and axe, so you've got to get there early, get the flag up, otherwise they lose all the best spaces.
The world's biggest England shirt has even made it here, a sign of the huge expectations that 2010 will live up to the past.
We're at our best when our backs are to the wall, and I think the lads will make sure that they rub a few noses in it after this one.
They know this is make or break time for England, but they're convinced the team will light up the Cape Town Stadium tonight.
sorry for his career.
For football in England, so he'll continue his role as an ambassador. I know he's doing a lot of work in the Far East and his training roles, you know, for kids and stuff. So he'll still be around. He'll be around for a long time, forever, you know, till he's well old. So you never lose him.
He's become a fantastic... How can I argue with how he's turned out as a human being? He's an icon to every kid in the world. He's a very wealthy guy, so how can I possibly argue with that?
Amid the fame, red carpets and brand deals, Beckham pioneered a fresh new look of what a modern-day footballer is. With the odds stacked against him, the young boy from Leytonstone went on to win a long list of silverware, including 6 PL titles, 2 FA Cups, 1 La Liga, 1 Champions League, and 1 PFA Young Player of the Year. He conquered England, Italy, and America, both commercially and as an athlete. Became the 3rd highest capped English player of all time. Paid player of all time. There is no doubting the financial success of Beckham's career. And when a player wins as many trophies as Beck's, there's no doubting their playing career either.
Back home in England, as the excitement builds, one 10-year-old boy has taken his love of the game a little too far. Tom Sylvester chose to go bald before his years to look like his hero Sven.
There's quite a lot of people in the school who dress up as David Beckham, and I thought Sven would be different. Because when I first had it done, it was almost bald, and I thought everyone would laugh at me. But it haven't, they've started liking it.